Hi everyone, and welcome to Chef Mooney's YouTube channel. Now today's little recipe, I'm going to make a delicious chocolate cake, and you've got to stay with me for this recipe as I show you the ingredients for this great cake. 1 3/4 cups of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. Now you're just going to mix this together with the flour. We're going to add 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. Now I'm adding 1/4 cup every time in 3 stages. That's number 2, and here comes number 3. The next ingredient is 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. We're going to mix this together. We're going to add it to the dry ingredients. Then we're going to rain in 2 cups of white sugar and incorporate this and sieve it through the mix. Make sure that you get all the lumps out, and that's why we sieve it, so the cake is nice and smooth and equal consistency. Into a separate bowl, we're going to mix all our wet ingredients. We're going to add 2 large eggs, slightly beaten, 1 cup of water, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now if you have the pure vanilla extract, that's great, otherwise you can use the imitation. There will be a slight difference in the flavour. The pure vanilla extract is much better to use. Then all we need to do is mash 2 medium bananas into a bowl, and we're going to incorporate this into the wet ingredients. Now all we need to do is add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. I'm also going to add 1/2 cup of milk, and we're just going to combine this and mix it through. Give it all a good mix. So after mixing, the consistency should look like this. Now all we need to do is spray our tin with some cooking spray. Make sure you give it a good coating so the cake doesn't stick. Another small tip would be to line the bottom of this tin with some greaseproof paper and then spray again. But for today's recipe, I'm going to show you something a little bit different. We're going to add some sugar to the base of this and just knock it around so all the sugar coats the sides and the bottom of the tin. Then we're going to add some flour. We're going to do the same procedure and just knock this flour around the tin so it coats the base and the bottom. And it's going to fill in all the gaps that the sugar have missed. Now let's get our mixture poured into this cake tin. And of course, a little taste to make sure that everything is good. Then we're going to pop this into a 140-degree oven for about 1.5 hours or 1 hour 10 minutes. Now, a good test for the cake, like any other cake, you're going to need to insert a skewer through the center of the cake. Make sure when you pull the skewer out of the cake that it's nice and clean and it doesn't have any sticky mixture on there. So let's now make our ganache. I'm going to melt 300 grams of dark chocolate with 300 milliliters of cream. Combine this together on the stove until it's nice and soft. Now as this cools and begins to thicken, you can then pour it over the cake. Well, thanks again for watching another episode of Chef Mooney. I really hope you give this recipe a try. But most importantly, I hope you enjoy it. It's a fabulous cake. There's no oil or fat in the cake apart from the ganache, so it's quite healthy if chocolate cake can be healthy. Well, until next time, stay safe. See ya.